same opportunity, because we all live in different parts of the country, especially this northern part of the country. We are lacking behind. The gap between the north and the southern part of the country is very wide, even though government is doing its best trying to close in that gap. But children over there and children here, we don't all have equal opportunities. Even those who had the opportunity to go to school, we don't get to have the same education.
Previously, for the North, schooling wasn't their priority. So what was introduced was the free education for all the Northerners. So currently you see a lot of Northerners in high positions because they had the free education just to motivate them to go to school. However, there are lots of villages in the north that don't have schools.
We don't all have the opportunities. Well, sometimes there's a need, the desire is there to go to school, but the schools are not just there. Yeah.
Now our president said he has made senior high free, but what of the younger ones? What of a community such as Luisa? Who is here to guide them to go to school? Who is there to get them a school? There are more communities that are deprived more than this place. There are communities that don't even have schools. Nursery, or let me say kindergarten, primary schools. There are communities that don't have those kind of schools. What about those schools? It's much more important. If you start from the early stage and you get somewhere, at least you can get a push-up. But if you don't start from an early stage, there is no way you'll be enrolled in a senior high school. I'm not criticizing my president, but I think the effort should be cut across. We should look at other places, other very deprived areas that do not have primary schools for kids. Sometimes there are schools, but sometimes there are no teachers. That is also another problem. Sometimes you get schools, but no teacher is coming here. They are not posting anyone here. No one wants to come here. They are supposed to kind of put additional, let me say, a bonus to people that will come to the deprived areas so that it will attract people to come. And that is it. So
in Ghana here, people want to study, but due to financial problems, sometimes they drop out. They can't continue with their studies.
But some poor people cannot afford it. So, and poor people give birth a lot because they believe children is their riches. So when it gets to a point where they cannot afford the education, what do? That they send their child to marriage or other things. That is when you see migration start taking place. But rich kid will always go to school because the parents can afford it. Even if the child is not brilliant, the parents can afford it. The child will still go. But the poor, That is where the problem lies.
For one reason or the other, there are some who are in the schools or in the communities. Distance to the school is a problem, so they can't go. Some can't even afford to have uniforms or exercise books. So we've taken that challenge up, and then we are moving to the communities.
When we did our research, we finally agreed that we had educational problem. The community has education problem. They had classrooms which were not actually that good, but they were okay. They were managing. But the problem is that how to get the people to school. Luisa is a big community, and we came here during rainy season. That was around May. We spent May, June, and we left July, 2 months. And when it's rainy season, the other parts, the north part of Luisa, do not get means to get to school. It's quite far. You have to walk for a while before you get to that particular school. And that school is shared between two communities. So it's at the border of the community. So you have to walk from the north of Luisa to Luisa Vundema Primary School. It's far, and the road is muddy. It's very muddy. I wish we could see one of those places, but you can't even you as an adult walking there, it wouldn't be easy, not talking of a kid. It's very difficult. So children don't go because you can't go to school that way. It's muddy. You can't walk. In fact, it's a bad experience. You can't walk there. So children at the north prefer not to go to school, go to the farm.
My dad was a teacher, so I thought I could give much to the society by teaching. We used to organize the children in the neighborhood, then we teach them. So after senior high school, I said, let me go into teaching as a profession. So I had a Bachelor of Education. The passion was just to teach the kids around. So when I finished, I had the opportunity to do that with School for Life. We have been posted to the streets, and then which happens to be my home district though. So we have been teaching the children. So the passion is to teach the children. Yeah, teaching is just passion.
I like it because I interact with the children. I share my knowledge to them. They also share their knowledge to me. It's not everything that the teachers know. Sometimes the child must know something, and the teacher doesn't know it. It's not everything that teachers know. So if you are teaching, you get more knowledge in addition with the children. And as a teacher too, every blessed day, it helps me. I prepare, I read, I study before I come to class. So it increases my knowledge. So we are always happy. You see someone, this is my student, you become happy. Okay? Even if I'm not more alive one day, when I was in the JHS, there was a teacher. The teacher used to help us or teach in our order. So that most of the children, they like me here.
We can't have development without education. So definitely there's that link between education. It's more or less like it's the gateway to development in the communities.
The only thing that is needed is education, assuring the family that education is important. A child needs to be educated so that the person will have a better future. So that assurance alone puts these kids in the right direction.
Education is not only about going to school and acquiring what is in the book and read about. We have technical education, and we have, so all of that is part of education. When you acquire a skill from school and you come out, definitely you're not going to be a thief, you're not going to be a prostitute.
Education is the key to social development.
Is a program that enables us to relate with the rural people and live with them, communicate with them, and try to identify their problem. Because my school is a development school, so we deal more in development than other things, and I am a community development student. So living with the people will tell you how you should be able to do your work after you complete school, how you should relate with the people, because I have to be here. They are not aware of many things, and not that I'm coming to educate them, but I'm coming to guide them and live with them and try to find their problems. So the program is actually a good program, which I will advise anyone to come in, because it broadens the mind and it makes you see what life is. Because some of us are outside the whole world, because this is what I call the true world. We are outside the world and we think everything is easy, but things are not that easy. You need to be here to see what life is. The first time the school bus dropped out at Luisa, seriously, some of the guys were sharing tears, because that was not what they were expecting. You couldn't believe we had to sleep in classrooms because there was no accommodation, no electricity, nothing, no hospital, no clinic, no pharmacy, nothing. There was nothing at all. It was just you and the dark and your God. There were boreholes in the community, but they were not much. It's very far. You have to walk from a distance, from a far place, to get water. So there was borehole needed. Borehole was part of our project. It was like 3-4 for the whole community. So we needed more. We added that to our research, part of our problems.
Thank you people very much for the support which you have brought to us. Like I told you yesterday, water is life. And this which you have brought to us is life. You have given to our people. We are very grateful.
Building a school in Luisa would be the greatest idea ever, because with our program, with the CBE have been running, we had about 4 different clusters of children, and each cluster takes between 25 to 30 kids. So with 4 classes, that's about 120 kids at a session. So with a school building, we are looking at a session every 3 months. That's like 3-4 times in a year. So it's going to make it 120 times 4. So the numbers are going to really increase. We are looking at about 480 children being enrolled every academic year into the school. So those people in the surrounding communities get to attend school over there rather than traveling that long distance to go to school. So it's shortening the distance for them. So a school in Luisa is a perfect idea.
No, life is not just about lights, it's not about money, but it's about what you can do to help someone. That is actually what life is about.